Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Friday Philosophy. I'm your host, Joseph Macalino, founder of Macalino Enterprises, social branding warrior, and proud friend to everyone who's trying to build a business online. Today I want to talk to you about something super important to the independent entrepreneurs today. So many people are building businesses online by themselves. And they're the foundation of that business, they're the center of that business. They're the manager, owner, operator, they're the everyday employee, they're the person who's taking care of everything. And this happens all too often in coaching businesses where people think just because they're the coach that they need to be running every aspect of their business. And it happens with any kind of internet-based business. And so I want to speak specifically to those solopreneurs, as people often call them. And starting out a business as a solopreneur is a fine endeavor. A lot of the time it's a good way to cut costs. It's a good way to actually learn the ins and outs of your business. And it's a great way to just build it and be able to say that you built something on your own. However, there comes a tipping point in the life of a solopreneur where they really have to consider how far they want to go and how far they really can go on their own. So the big idea with today's philosophy is the concept of team building. Now, if you're familiar with network marketing, you probably have a different idea of what team building is. And I want you to push that idea out of your mind. I'm not talking about just building independent distributors and having people sell. Though there is something to be said about that model. If you are a coach, for instance, perhaps you could recruit some people in your network who you know work with your target audience who might upsell your product and you pay them a commission. But that's not the kind of team building I'm really talking about. Team building I'm referring to is getting somebody to manage your calendar, having somebody there to deal with customer support issues, hiring someone to write the copywriting for your new sales page, having somebody you can rely on and say, hey, I'm working on this new product, take a look at this for me, and somebody who's actually a part of your team. When you're building a business, having that team is super important. Even looking at a higher level, you're going to want to have an attorney on staff, somebody who you can really bounce ideas off of. Again, I understand as you're starting out, you can't afford someone on retainer. However, as you get bigger, one of the early investments you want to start considering is hiring someone in that role. You're going to need an accountant, especially come tax time, to make sure that you're reducing the burden. And the thing is, a lot of this is lessons that traditional business owners really understand already. But us as entrepreneurs today, we often get distracted and we don't pay attention to all these little things. And oftentimes they add up and can really cause issues and challenges for us down the road if we're not careful to pay close attention to it. So here's the real big idea. As you're looking to build a business, remember that no man on earth can do it all alone. You're here to build something worthwhile. You're here to affect people's lives for the positive. Make sure to have a team behind you. Whether that starts with just a team of 2 and builds from there, or whether you're ready to actually hire yourself a full-time staff. Figure out what works for you and really go about it. So my challenge to you today, go ahead and list out some of the things that you could use help with in your day-to-day business. Check it out, see what you could maybe delegate rather than handling on your own. Because once you learn to delegate, once you learn to build that team, all of a sudden you go from a solopreneur working day in and day out to a thriving business owner who really gets things done and who really builds an empire. See you next week for another episode of Friday Philosophy.